Hello, plannerettes. How are you? Thank you so much for joining me. Hey, have you ever felt stuck staring at a massive to do list, unsure where to start? Well, you're not alone because I am here. Ooh, I am here to help you because procrastination isn't about being lazy. It's often rooted in emotions like fear or uncertainty or just feeling overwhelmed. But today I'll show you a simple mindset shift that will make tackling big tasks a lot easier. And make sure you do stick around because by the end, you'll walk away with a clear system to break down any overwhelming task and actually make progress. Now, I am also live on LinkedIn for the very first time. So if you are on LinkedIn and you see me, hey, if we haven't met yet, I'm Marianne, and through my own planning, habit tracking, well being, and self care, I hope you can get inspiration and ideas for your own planning. So don't just use your planners and planning tools as a productivity for your to dos and task appointments, bills to pay. Also, use it as a way to look after yourself. Add some self care time in there. So, if you're having those overwhelming or anxious days, it can help you get back on track to doing the things that matter most to you. So, if you are needing that bit of inspiration and a nice friendly guidance, you are in the right place. So let us go. Okay. So procrastination is a little bit sneaky. It's not just about putting things off. It's often our brain's way of just avoiding discomfort. I mean, we like pleasure. We try and avoid things that's too hard or I don't want to do, or things that are undesirable. So what normally happens is, maybe we might fear failing or we don't know exactly where to start with our tasks. And, maybe the task is just too big to even know where to begin. Now, according to Ali Abdaal's book, Feel Good Productivity, procrastination actually is driven by emotions like fear or uncertainty or just overwhelm, and it's so much easier to stay still, sit on the couch and do nothing than actually make that first step. So it's more the emotions drive us more than we actually realize. But here's the thing, what we see as one big task is actually a collection of smaller tasks that just need a little bit more structure. And that is where today's strategy comes in. Right, so according to David Allen's book, so another book, productivity book, How to Get Things Done, is he explains that any task that require more than one actionable step is just a project. So if we take a moment to shift our mindset to see things this way, so let's say, for example, putting your keys in the hook, that's one step, right? But anytime it requires more than one actionable step, then he considers this as a project. So it we were going to break it up into a project because this is going to be a lot more manageable. All right. So what we can do is being able to manage it, it's going to help provide us with clarity because instead of just one big task, you get to see what needs to be done. Also, it will help reduce the overwhelm, right? I don't know about you, when I sometimes see tasks on my to do list and just look at it and go, I don't know what to do. And so I'd rather not do anything at all. And then you get overwhelmed. And then what's going to happen is then you don't do anything. So by thinking of big tasks as projects with small actionable tasks in it, it's just going to help it reduce the overwhelm. And then, of course, it's going to also build motivation because each small step creates progress. And as those of you who followed me all along, we're talking about progress, not perfection. And it's really, really important because once you start ticking off those smaller tasks, it's going to give you that dopamine hit. It's going to signal to your brain, hey, this is actually okay. It's not too bad at all. I don't mind doing this again. And so then it won't put that barrier or friction next time you come to a big task, because what we're going to do is we're just going to break it down into manageable pieces. Now, if you are here in the live chat, make sure you say hello, keep me company, and then also have a think about what's on your task list or your to-do list that maybe you've moved from day to day, week in, week out. Maybe something that was in your February to-do list is still in your March list. Have a think, because this might be the answer for you in actually finally maybe getting to tackle those big tasks. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this into action today. Now, I'm going to use an example of mine. So for those of you that watched my podcast, I'll make sure to add that in the description. I am making big life choices and I am looking for a full-time job outside of the home. So for big family reasons, just waiting for either the ambulance or the a police car, right? So it's a huge, huge task for me, especially I haven't been working outside of the home for the last 4, 5, 6 years. So it's a daunting task. And if I just had a on my to-do list, look for a job, guess what? I'm just going to be frozen with fear because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know the next step because it's just too many steps. And so today, what I want to do is use my example of looking for a full-time job outside of the home as a way for you to follow along. So in your case, like I said, think of one big task that you haven't quite made any movement on yet, and then follow along. All right, so let's keep going. So now, instead of seeing it as one massive task, like I said, we're going to break it down in today into a project with lots and lots of small steps until we get to our desired outcome. Okay, now to make it even easier, I actually created a printable download that I call, funnily enough, a projects list. Okay, so let me just open up my planner bundle. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so then we can see it a lot better. Okay, so like I said, this is a printable download in A5 size, but you can also use it for other planner size like Happy Planner Classic or letter size. So I've created this printable project management tool that will lay out the step-by-step breakdown. Now, you can use it for job hunting, big work projects, or even personal goals. You might be doing some arts and crafts, or a do-it-yourself handyman thing for the house. So you can use this projects list to break down that task, and I'm going to walk you through how to use it right now. Okay, so at the top here I have target start date, actual start date, target end date, and actual end date. And then we have a project outcome, and then all the next action steps that we need to do to get to our desired outcome. So what you want this project to look like at the end is what the outcome is. So what do you need to envision? So for me, instead of just saying look for a job, my ultimate outcome or desired end result is get a full-time job. All right. So, really, really important that you are being specific on what you want the outcome. Because if you are vague about it, then you won't know the exact steps, small steps you need to take to get there. Because you might be wandering it along, looking for a full time job, looking for a full time job, looking for a full time job. But what happens when you've found a full time job, or on the classifieds or in the job, job list? You can tell I haven't looked for a full time job for a long time. Classifieds. I was saying to my husband, do people still look for jobs in newspapers? I don't think so. Of course not, right? But you never know, right? So, and then what we're going to do is once we know the specific outcome, then we can take the steps towards how to get there. Now, if this concept is new to you, it's okay. I do actually have a full breakdown on how to structure your task using this project list. I have it in the description right now. It's called Tasks versus Projects and Getting Things Done Using a Project List. So it's going to walk you through exactly how to take big, overwhelming tasks and turn them into actionable steps. So if you do want to dive deeper into how I use this projects list, make sure to check the description and definitely check out that video because it has helped me so much break and beat the procrastination when I feel overwhelmed when a new task or a big task comes my way. All right, so now let's get back into breaking things down into smaller tasks. So, okay, so I'm going to zoom in because each of these is for one project at a time. If you need more, if you have lots and lots of action steps, you can just continue it to the next box. But I'm going to zoom in so then we have a clear, and what I might do is I might use a clean background so then that way you can see it clearly. All right, so target start date, well, I want to be looking for a full-time job now. So today is the 13th of March 2025. Okay, so that's when I would, you know, essentially would like to start, and I probably will start today, but I won't do that now. All right, so essentially, I would like to find a job within the next maybe week or two. Let's do 2 weeks. I don't want to go and put any more overwhelming pressure on myself by, so what's that? The 13th, 7, 20. So by the 27th of March. Okay, so that's 2 weeks. If I really put the effort in, you know, by making sure I am doing the steps that I will write out, then hopefully in 2 weeks' time, I have, a job, a full-time job. All right. So, same thing now. If you are following along, so for the moment, if you don't have this projects list, just write down on your notepad or in your planner or a blank piece of paper when is the ideal time you would like to start on this project, and when do you want to have the outcome or the desired result finished by. The reason why you want to put target start and end date as well as versus actual start and end date is then you can then see your progress. So if you know you should have started on the 13th and you did, that's a big tick. We want to be tallying wins in our days, wins when we are tackling big projects. Or if you are a little bit behind, then you can go and course correct, pivot, have a look at when you can fit certain tasks. Maybe you have to do, two things on the same day. It just gives you like a progress bar of where you should be at based on when you said you'll start and when you'll finish. So not only is it a great progress tracker, it is also will help motivate you to keep going if you're on time or to course correct if you are a little bit behind. Okay, so that's why it's important to have those as well. Having a clear start and finish with any project is always a great progress bar. Okay, so if you have any questions, do let me know, so then that way I can answer them while we are here. But of course, if you are watching on replay, do not hesitate to add any comments, any aha moments, or any questions you have when it comes to tackling big tasks or projects in your own personal life, work life, or even hobbies. All right, so really, really important is sometimes we go, how do I do this? And someone will just go, oh, well, maybe let's start with this. Okay, so let's keep going. So my project outcome is uh, get, so not find, get a full-time job by, we'll put end of March, okay? End of March. All right. So, again, in David Allen's book, Getting Things Done, the project outcome refers to a desired result or goal that you want to achieve from this project or this big task. So, it's the end result you envision, right? So, when you close your eyes and you've completed this task, what does it look like? And then when you set out to complete it, and do your task, you know when you have crossed the finish line. So this outcome should be specific, actionable, and clearly defined. So if I just put get a job when? Maybe is it by the end of the year? What type of job and all those stuff, okay? So very, very important. If you are writing it down, what is the desired result or what does it look like when you have finished this project? So for me, example, get a full-time job. For you, other things is you might want to clear out your closet, and or put away, for if you are moving into your spring summer season, start packing away all the winter stuff. For us, we are in the autumn season, so I may want to swap out my summer clothes to my winter clothes. Or if you have a pantry in the kitchen that's just a total mess, you might want to put organized pantry into their categories. All right, very by the end of the week. Okay, so very, very specific. And then this is going to help guide you into knowing exactly what steps to take next. All good so far? If you are liking this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up on YouTube, and I think you can do the same if you are watching on LinkedIn. All right, so I'm going to use my example of get a full-time job by the end of March. So what are the first things I need to do? So if I just try to do this and put that on my to-do list, of course, it's overwhelming. Where do I start first? What do I do? And the thought of having to go look for a job is already overwhelming enough. And then I might start procrastinating and then not do anything at all and feel bad about myself. Hello, Elle. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you being here so much. And Steph, Let's Assemble, Marianne. I thought you weren't going live today. No, I am still doing, and I'm still showing up. This is day 13 of my 30-day Mindful Messy March challenge. I'm not letting myself down, and I'm not letting you guys down. And you know what's been helping? My planner and putting into place the things I need to do. So I did all my morning routine this morning. I meditated, I stretched, I drank a glass of water, I went on my walking pad, I had my breakfast, I washed my face, because I know I am tackling a big task. So I need to make sure I am laying the foundation properly by making sure to look after myself first. So yes, I am glad. Like button press. doop, doop. Thank you so much, Elle. So glad I caught you. Need to check email more often. Hello, Elle. No, I didn't update apart from Instagram stories because I wasn't sure I was going to go on, but then I thought, you know what? Someone mentioned in a previous live stream how to manage projects, big projects. So I am here. Big hugs to you, indeed. Thank you. I saw your video about decisions. Guess I'm confused as it's your daily posting. So I'm glad. Yes, yes. It's past midnight here and starting to snow, so I'm awake. Oh no, make sure you have some good sleep there, Elle. All right, so what am I going to do? What steps do I need to take? So, first of all, I need to go and figure out my strengths and my skills. I know what they are, but I need to know. So I'm going to put identify my strengths and skills. The reason for this is I need to know how I can match all the things, my knowledge, my expertise, and my experience. So I need to know those so then I can look for jobs that will fit those. Because then if I go and just look for jobs, I could be looking for thousands of jobs, right? So I need to know how to narrow the search myself. So say here, I haven't even started looking at jobs yet. I got to go and figure out first, what are my skills? What are my strengths? What are my experience that I can bring to my future employer that is going to be beneficial for whatever job and roles that I take? So that's the first thing I need to do. Next step, all right, is I need to research. Now can look for, job titles, research for job titles or roles, okay, that aligns with my skills, that aligns with my skills. Okay, now I have written my actionable steps earlier, so then that way I'm not thinking on live camera. So I've got to go research job titles and roles. But now, because remember, the first thing I did is write down what my skills, my experience, my expertise, what I can bring to whatever role I apply for. And then I can now go look for jobs that fit that instead of just going, oh, what do I look for? Okay, so really, really important by breaking it down into small actionable steps. I see the chat being alive. Let's quickly have a look. Um, Hello there, Amy, Creativity Playground. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. I love it. Look at that. Marianne, you've got tons of skills. Yes, I think I do, and lots of them are transferable because I actually have already started, identifying my strengths and my skills. So, from content creation, from my homeschooling skills, from my previous roles as team leader, as in customer service, in account management, in small, medium-sized business, consultations. So lots. But of course, I need to go and figure out, I can't, by having all of those, I need to narrow it down for when I look for the job that I want. I have to make sure that I look for jobs that I not only fit my skills and expertise, but things that I know will bring me joy. Okay, so research job titles or roles that align with my skill. Again, if you are following along or you are watching on replay and you have a big task, that your task or project doesn't have to be work related. It can be personal. I know Amy here, the Creativity Playground, is an expertise in craft and paper craft, so she might have one of these conference, arts and craft conference that she's got to go to, and that project could be breaking down what do I need to do to bring along and my presentations and things like that. So breaking it down will help reduce the overwhelm. As Steph says, list me as a reference. Oh, excellent. I will. I will take you up on that because I was thinking, who are some personal references that I can ask for to be able to add to my resume? I love it. Oh, I will email you. Thank you, Steph. All right. So, the next step. So, again, all right. So, if you are following along and you're thinking of that task that you moved from yesterday, or you migrated from last week, or was in your to dos and tasks from maybe even January, or maybe from even 2024, remember the project doesn't necessarily mean you have to get everything done in one go. And that's why sometimes we do procrastinate, is we think that, for it to be done, we got to do it all in one sweet one move, right? No, break it down and fit it within your lifestyle. And of course, if there are projects that are time sensitive, then you just can't be taking your time, right? So it's really, really important. Yes, Amy, I think Amy has creativity playground is Amy, let them know if just to confirm. Funny mentioned my next summit. See, there you go. On because Amy's always so busy with like all these different arts and crafts, and paper planning, and she also uses craft paper planning as a way form of self-care and taking time for yourself. So it's a remember, one of the 2025 goals for me is adding more creativity. And so that's really, really important. I like this list guide. It makes tasks look doable. Exactly. And we'll keep going. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at job listings. Okay. So even before, because if I went, I know for me, if I went straight to job listing, I would have been overwhelmed because I wouldn't know where to start. But this knowing where I'm at, what type of roles will fit into that I will also enjoy, will give me a more narrower search than it would have if I've just looked at, the website for all the different jobs. So now I've broken it down. Look at job listing to understand, okay, to understand available, well, to understand what's available. All right, so I need to look what's out there, maybe the job titles, the skills that they need, the words, the keywords that they're looking for. So then I can narrow my search even further. So look at job listing and understand what's available, okay, and the skills required. Okay, so because this is a huge task, remember how I said if it's a huge task, all I got to do is just continue on. So I'll put an arrow here. Okay, so this I don't need to do because I'm going to continue it from there. Okay, so then you don't have to write it out again. All right, so the next one is, well, I better update my resume. I don't think I've touched my resume since 2018. Update resume. So for those of you who may not know, I used to work outside of the home prior to May 2019. That May 2019 was when we decided as a family to homeschool my younger son, who was 10 at the time. Is that right? Is that how long it is? Yeah, 6 years ago. Who was 10 at the time. And he's on the autism spectrum. And I didn't know how to teach. I didn't know anything. We didn't have any resources. But because, like, my recent podcast is making big life decisions, we don't have to know how to do everything right now. We got to figure it out along the way, and we just need to make sure the choices that we make is aligned with our values. So for me, family is one of the most important things in my life, right? My family and my well-being. So I made sure that whatever decision we needed to make, I didn't know how to teach, but I knew I could figure things out because my history has told me that I do okay during challenges. I do okay during tough times. Yes, I might get overwhelmed and have a big meltdown, but I always bounce back because somewhere along the line, I know I can always ask for help, look for things on how to do it, and learn. We have so many resources nowadays that we can learn anything online. So it's really important. Just like any big decisions, first of all, make sure to look after yourself and your well being. And the decision you make is in line with whatever values you have. Okay, let's quickly have a look. Um, do you I like this guide. Yes, Marianne, do you have crafting stores that offer lessons in your area? Here in Cal, craft stores hire out people to teach courses, work. I recall your noodles Instagram page. For me, probably I wouldn't want, because my crafting is part of my self care. And I would like to, what's the word? Not cultivate. I want to keep that as my hobby and my pleasure. So yeah, that is, I have skills in that too. But then, and the same thing that someone said, that I could be a great teacher's aide, and I could, and I know I would. But then it's one of these things that I already have a child on the autism spectrum. Then and I'm sure I'll be able to help other parents or other schools, but I want to keep them separate. So I want to make sure my creativity is part of my self care and my pastime. But great idea. Yes, there are lots of many different crafting places that do things. Yes, so Amy's Creativity Playground. So do check it out. Yes, you're very welcome. Yes. Hello, Crimson on Filter. How are you? Is this your first time on a live? Well, I better give you a warm welcome. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. And so yes, let us know if you are a first timer here. Okay, keep business and pleasure separated. Yes, totally valid. Hello, Angela. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you being here. Yes, so I'm a little bit late with today. Normally I would have gone on one, but what did I do? Well, I made sure I looked after myself first, and I actually went through all of my AM routine, which is all self care related and my well being, because I know it's going to be, I'm going to be facing tough moments of probably I'm probably going to be facing a lot of brick walls or a lot of hurdles and wanting to, things to move faster than they would. So I need to make sure that I am calm, that my heart rate is slow. So I made sure, and then of course when I thought, oh, I can talk about project management and breaking down big tasks and beating procrastination. But I wanted to make sure that I was prepared, that I had everything all set up and knew exactly what I was talking about. All right, so I'm going to update my resume and then probably create cover letter. Can you see how by breaking things down, I don't have to worry about the next step until I get to it? Because if I try and figure out, oh, what do I need to do about when that happens, what I would need to do when I'm up to this stage, all I'm doing is creating anxiety that's unnecessary until I need to get there. Or if I don't know what to do when I'm there, I'll figure it out then. Why worry about it twice, right? Worrying about it now and then worrying about it again when you get to that point. So by breaking down your big task into small actionable steps, you reduce the overwhelm, you reduce the anxiety, you reduce the fear of, oh, what if this doesn't work out? Because let's get to that when we get to that point, okay? By breaking it down, you just go, oh, I can do that. I can update my resume. That's the first step. That's easy. I can do that. All right. So then the next one maybe is network. Network, reach out to contacts and see what's out there. Reach out to contacts. Okay, let people know, hey, Marianne's back on the scene, right? And then I can look at job search. So see how even the looking for a job, which is actually, you think the first step to get a job, right, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, seventh on the list, right? Because if I started with that, I would have just gone, well, what can I offer? Well, what jobs do I look for? What's out there? oh, I can't do this. It's too scary. I don't know what to do. And then I sit on the couch and then procrastinate and be upset with myself because I haven't made any movement. All right. So breaking it down just sees makes things so much clearer. And like I said earlier, provides that clarity. Okay. So then once I've looked for job search, this is, I can look at research different companies. So there's a couple of different websites here in Australia that I can look for. They're all pretty much the same because, employers advertise in multiple platforms. So job search, and then, of course, send out my applications. Okay, send out applications, and then make sure to tailor my resume and my cover letter for each one, tailor each one. Okay, so then that way it's not just one generic thing each one, and then I can submit. Okay, so that's it. I need to do first to get a full-time job is do those steps. And then when I get an interview, guess what I'll do? I'll create another projects list, right? So really important, instead of overwhelming yourself with such a big daunting task, right? Whoops, I'm just making sure my camera is not wobbly. You have broken it down. Okay, so let's quickly have a look at the chat. Yes, first time. Yes, first time being on live with you. And thank you for the welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Woohoo! Good to have you. And yes, we are a very welcoming bunch here. Creativity Playground. Amy said the computer science teacher in me is over here saying, "Yep, decomposition, such an important part in the problem solving process and computational thinking." See, even the wisdom of Amy with as a computer science teacher knows by breaking it down. And I think a lot of things too is by seeing the tasks that we do. I never was interested in science, but all science is researching data or looking for data and doing experiments and seeing what works, what doesn't work. And that's why with planning, do not think you are a failure if a system doesn't work. If you go, oh, I haven't been able to habit track, I mustn't be good. No, it might be your system. It might be the planner you're using. Maybe the size is too small. Maybe the size is too big. Maybe the grid is too small, and you feel overwhelmed by having to fill out a whole page. My husband is back from their thing, and because I've got earbuds on, and the microphone's picking up the the kitchen. So it's a lunchtime or snack time for homeschooling. All right, so now, instead of just finding a new job, I have a clear plan, and every little win. So once I start, actioning these and completing them, that's a little win towards, getting closer to my desired outcome, right? So my project outcome. So instead of going, oh, I haven't found a job, I mustn't be any good. Meh, there's no I can't see progress. I can't see any small little wins to celebrate my accomplishment. This now, there's so many different small tasks that I know I'm able to move through them, tick them, complete them. Dopamine hits, brain then goes, oh, we like this, let's do the next task. And then that will help build momentum. And you are going to be more motivated because you are seeing progress rather than inertia and just sitting on the couch, maybe scrolling too much on your phone like I do. All right, let's quickly keep going. Hello, Labradoodle dandies. Thank you. Hi, Gail. Nice to see you from Vancouver, Washington. I love it. I'm in Lacey. There you go. See, I love when you guys let each other know where you are in the parts of the world, because isn't it amazing though? I'm here in Sydney, Australia. It is warm. I mean, Elle's probably going to bed because it's midnight. It's snowing there. I love that we can be connected through the internet. Okay, yes. Steph says, you win the most adorable name. Oh, like Labradoodle. Yes, so cool. Made my day. See? Even like our names and just showing up for each other. Oh, Elle's still here. Hello. It's midnight. Elle, get some sleep. All right, so excellent. All right, so let's quickly keep going. Now, where are we? Okay, so when you do get when I do, like I said, when I do get an interview, or maybe you have completed the decluttering the bed, the closet in your bedroom, or organizing your kitchen pantry, then you could go, all right, well, what's the next step? Maybe, okay, let's go and organize all the drawers, the junk drawer, just making sure, again, one small step. And as soon as a task has more than one actionable step, consider it as a project. Then that way, it's a lot easier for you to manage it, and then also then to tackle it. Ellie's partying at midnight. Whoop, 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 whoop. I'm awake. I'm awake. Excellent. All right. All right. So, next, all right, so then I'll create a next project once I get an interview. But I don't have to worry about that now. But in the past, I used to. It's like, what if I get an interview, and then what if I don't have any clothes that don't, because none of my clothes fit. So it's like, what will I do? Oh, what this and that, what and this and that, right? So I don't have to worry until the time comes. And if I don't know how to do something, then same as you, if you don't know how to do something, we can figure it out along the way. As Marie Forleo says, everything is figure outable. We have access to search engines. Someone somewhere in the world would have answered our question. Okay, sleep can wake. Marianne is live. That's right. Party, party. Okay, so now we've broken things down. The key is to now integrate it. Okay, so it's not just going to live there and then, might get buried in our planner, or we don't look at it again. We're now going to take the next step. What is the next step? Once we've written it down, because remember, always write things down that's in your head down on paper, because then you can see it a lot clearer. But what do? We're now going to integrate these steps into our daily life, into our daily planner, or into our weekly planner. So here's how it's going to work. Okay, let's quickly zoom back out. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Okay, let me put this back here. So I'm going to keep it outside, so then that way, um, all right, so this projects list is part of my Get Things Done planner bundle printable that has the list of stuff, a projects list, and the someday maybe. And I use David Allen's methodology of how to get things done, of taking capturing what's in your head, putting it down on paper, and then going from there. Let me quickly have a look. So I'll just pop that link in the comment. So Get Things Done Planner Printable Download, that's in there. It is in A5, but if you have Happy Planner Classic or letter size or Big Happy Planner planner, all you got to do is change the paper size in your printer preference, and then you'll still have, or pretty much, the margins may be a little bit wider, but that's okay. It still all fits beautifully. All right, so it's an A5, but you can also use it for other printables. So how do I start integrating this into my daily life? Well, I pop it in my planner. Okay, so as you can see, my planner I made really, really pretty for this week. And in that podcast that I talked about making tough decisions, I said there, make sure to write down positive affirmations that will help you reframe any negative thoughts. And I needed that for this week. Things that I let go and I move forward. The letting go of, maybe I may have to stop content creation for a while. I don't know, but I will get to that when I get to that. Or it's okay to feel this way where I'm just really overwhelmed, I'm unsure of what I need to do. My emotions are valid. So then I acknowledged it, I accepted it, and then took the next step of what do I need to do to make sure that I'm looking after myself. I said to my husband, please take me out for a walk. So we went out for a walk. Zach, my younger son, who doesn't normally like walking in the evening because I think it's just a lot of sensory, input that he doesn't like. We had to, bribe him a little bit and go, well, go get ice cream. So now we have to make sure we, oh, um, um, I've got on LinkedIn. I'm still on LinkedIn. I don't think anyone's on LinkedIn. Anyway, uh, so I, I said, take me out for a walk like a little puppy that needs its walk. So I did that. I make decisions that honor my values. So anytime I go, am I making the right decision? Am I making the right decision? Is this the right choice? My family and my well-being is one of my top priorities. And so, oh, why isn't it? I don't know why it is. Let me see. Don't know why it keeps doing the volume. All right. Oh, Ronnie Cat. I can see Ronnie Cat. Uh, yes, I have to teach early tomorrow, so I'm usually asleep by 10. Now I'm up as a rebel to party with the planerettes. Maybe we should put some music in the background. I don't. I think it'll be. I have like just more of a low. Um, Rebel Planet is hilarious. Hi, Ronnie Cat. Nice to see you. Hi, shocked you on at this time. It's almost 1 a.m. Yes, everyone's up. It's like, sneaking in and turning on the TV and putting it on low volume. Remember that when we were young and teenagers and we was not supposed to be up watching. Yes. Hi. Indeed. Thank you so much. All right. So, and then the other thing is I don't have to have everything figured out. So this is my planner for today. Okay. So look, go live. I thought I would go live at 1, but I needed to prepare all these information. So then I'm not just rambling on, because I still got to provide value and entertainment while I go on live, even though I do say have this 30-day challenge of mine of mindful messy March. I still the organized person in me goes, I still have to have a an at least an outline of what I need to say. Okay, so for example, I'm going to put it here, so then that way you can just see that it's a clean page. So let's say Friday, because today is Thursday here in Sydney, Australia. Uh, do you want a job role that is very different from content creation? I don't know, Alp. So that is the thing that I'm looking at, because it's the skill that I have at the moment, and I think I will be a fabulous asset to any company. But then at the same time, I have to look. So it's one of the options. So yes, very, very. One of the things that originally was one of the things that drove anxiety of what do I want to look for. I want to make sure I'm looking for a role that I enjoy and brings me joy, because that's very important. The last thing I want is to go into a role that I'm not happy with, and then I come home stressed, and then everybody knows when mommy's stressed, the poor husband and the sons get the brunt of my temper, and also trying to manage whatever my hormones are doing at the moment, with perimenopause. Okay, so what I would do is then you're going to incorporate these small actionable tasks into your daily or weekly planner. Now, you do not have to do all of this all at once. Whatever project or big task you have, do not think that, oh, I got to do this today, and then I got to do it once I've done that. I got to do this today, and then once I've done that, because then what's that's going to do is it's going to put you in an overwhelmed state again, right? The whole point of breaking it down into small, actionable, manageable tasks is that you are not putting too much pressure on yourself to get everything done right now. Just take that first small step, and then you can decide, you know what, I finished that early. I maybe can fit another thing that's on the list today. But if not, that's okay. I'll do it tomorrow. So let's have a look. So for Friday, what's my first steps? Identify my strengths and my skills. I actually have already started looking at that, so then I'm going to make sure that's going to be a top priority. So I'm going to list my skills and experience. All right, so then I just, when I am starting to do the job hunting and looking at different roles and different activities, I already have on the side the skills, and I could go, yep, 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 it matches, let's go apply for that one. But then if I don't have that list, I could go, oh, I will start questioning whether I have the ability or not. But when I have it written down nice and clear, my skills and my experience and my expertise, when it, in the job roles and job descriptions, it'll say, has to be able to have done this many experience, that I could easily go, yep, either save that or, create, apply for that role. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Well, I've actually started, so I'm going to put, continue, because it is now in the afternoon and I'd like to get myself outside for a walk and enjoy the sunlight. Okay, so that will be one of the steps. So then, look, I have now moved one of those small actionable steps from my projects list into my page that I go and tick off. Okay, so then, because sometimes if you look at this, sometimes when you do make lists yourself, you don't want to overwhelm it by going, oh, there's so much. So break it down. So then all you're doing is creating a funnel, right? So you're creating a funnel. So then once it comes to this point down here, that's all you're focusing your attention on until it's completed. And then you move on to the next task. And what does that do? It removes all the noise. You put blinkers on because that's all you got to do. Let's just get this done, Marianne, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so really important. Uh, well, you are an excellent teacher. Me? I'm an excellent teacher? Oh, thank you. And Amy, creativity playground, but also remember that you don't have to have all the skills. Yes, very, very important. Good to note this creativity playground, Amy, because women tend to not apply for roles unless they have all the skills. And I know I can learn things along the way. I've done it. I've done it many times. I've created and launched my own online course. I've created landing pages. I've created a live stream and a nice little, beautifully laid out. And I figured it out along the way. Yes, that is a one of the studies and research that men, if men look at a job role and they only have, let's say they have the skills only 50, that they'll apply for a role if they know that they have 50% of the skills. For women, they will only apply for it if they see that they, either have all the skills or maybe close to all the skills. So that's the thing, that's the difference. Sometimes, I always say you can get a job by being excellent at the interview, because I've seen a few co-workers of mine in the past who may not have had the skills and the experience, but they went for it and then they learned it, because you're going to get training. So good point, Amy. Yes, remember, you do not have to have all the skills. So then there's stuff that's on there, let's say, I don't know, Adobe or Photoshop. Guess what? I can learn it. I can learn it along the way. Okay, so the next one is research job titles and roles that align. So then once I've done that, I'm going to review roles that you know um, I'm trying to figure out how that I desire. So the ones that I would like to begin with, I'm going to have a look and then start saving them or starring them, so then that way I can come back to them. So that's all I got to do tomorrow. Have my skills already, and I've sort of half nearly finished that because I've did my resume for one set of roles, right? And then review the roles. And guess what? That's all I got to do and concentrate on. If I get them done way before the day is over, maybe the next thing I do is look at job listings, or update my resume or create a cover letter, whatever the next step is in my projects list. Lol, that is so true. True, true indeed. Yes. Men have, they will apply for things. If they only have one skill, they'll apply for it because they know they can figure it out. We need to do that too. We figure things out along the way, way beyond, if there's any men watching, we're good at stuff, right? So we have to make sure that we when we are looking at big tasks and then we've broken it down into small actionable pieces and then start to chip only at one thing at a time, we are going to focus on our progress, not perfection. Speaking of perfection, right, it's not about getting everything done all 100% right now in one go. It's like it's like, even though we want to, how we want to carry the shopping bags from the car into the house. We don't want to make too many trips, right? But it's why sometimes you go, don't do it if it's going to break, so, or you're going to hurt your back, or your back muscle freezes. So sometimes we want to do it all in one go, but that is not what we want to do. The last thing we want to do is hurt ourselves, overwhelm ourselves, get anxious about it. Okay, so now, the links are in the description for the my video, the tasks versus projects. So it goes over my this project list even more and goes into more detail about David Allen's how to get things done and about breaking it down into a project. It also has the printable download for it, so have a look at that. And I do have, if you want to join the Plannerets community, like Steph, L, who else is here? Ronnie, Cat, Gail, Angela, all of us, we're there. So if you are new to my community, make sure to join there. And, if I can't show up, if by any chance I can't show up on here on a platform, we can do it nice and private in our own little sanctuary in the Plannerets community. Now, if you do feel stuck, okay, so if you have a task on that you put in your projects list and then you go, oh, I don't know what to do, I just feel stuck, take that task and break it down even more, simplify it even further. So if you feel like the next step in your projects list is one that you're just overwhelmed, then just go and break it down even more and just go, okay, that's just too big to tackle all in one go. What's the first next actionable step that I can take? And then just start a new little projects list box. So what I'll do is, so then I know I don't get confused, is I'm going to highlight, because any excuse to use our highlighter. I'm going to highlight these two boxes, so then I know it is for one project. Okay, there we go. All right, and then if I wanted, I can make it prettier or anything. So then once I complete this task here, so let's say list my skills and expertise, I can cross it off, or I can do use my little, this is a Hobonichi basic stencil, and then I could go and, mark it off. Okay, so there you go, mark it off. Now this is a Pilot Friction Way erasable gel pen, because I haven't completed it yet. All I gotta do is erase it. It's gone. Okay, so that's in my Amazon US storefront affiliate link. All right, so really important, simplify it even further if you are feeling stuck, because then if you've come across a barrier or a friction, it just means that task itself, even though you've already broken it down, it hasn't been broken down enough. Okay, so big tasks can be really overwhelming. Progress happens when one small step at a time is taken. So if you ever feel stuck, just go back to the first small action, and then that's it. You've got this. And so if you have, of course, if you did find this video helpful, make sure to tap that like button so then I know you're enjoying it. And then, of course, anybody else that you go, oh my God, we've got to go break down our tasks. So then that way it's not so overwhelming and we're not carrying it over from day to day, week to week, month to month. Because I know there's a few. Look, the thing is, too, if you do find yourself moving tasks from one, at least maybe from week to week or even month to month, ask yourself, right? Is this important at the moment? It probably is important, but if you find that you're moving it, and you have already broken it down and still not doing it, it's just probably not a top priority right now. And then that's when you can move it to your someday maybe list. So it's things that you want to do that you don't know when to do or what the outcome is, and or you go, you know what, I've been procrastinating on this for a while. Maybe I'll just remove it off my list rather than making it make me anxious about it, have moving it, day in, day out, week in, week out. Let me just put in the someday maybe. And then once a month, review your someday maybe list and go, anything on there that I may be able to tackle this month? And then move it. Okay. But just really important, don't sit on something that's making you feel anxiety. All right. Because I have that feeling, or how those emails, you just go, oh, I dread replying. Sometimes, though, we have to do some hard tasks. What do they say? Got to put our big girl pants on and just go, some tasks I need to get done, might be fearful, we might be scared of doing it, but it's, rip the band-aid type of thing. Sometimes we just got to do some stuff. So it's about weighing things. Okay, so let me know in the comments, if you are watching, what big task are you working on right now? Or what's one task that's on your to-do list that have you been moving from one planner page to the next planner page to the next month to the next month? Okay, let's have a, where are we? So, true, true. That is yes, you're dedicated to learning. You can only do any job you put your mind to. Yes, exactly. Okay, so let me know in the comments section. And that might be, a nice little accountability for yourself too, because sometimes writing down and letting others know what a goal that you have or a project that you want to do, writing it down, not so much that you're being held responsible by someone else, that someone's going to go, hey, you said you were going to do that, but it puts an accountability on yourself, because you want to make sure that you are doing things, first of all, that's important to you, that matters to you, that brings you joy, that brings you to the next step of where you want to be at. Okay, and sometimes having an accountability by just putting it out there will make you go, oh, okay, well, I put it out there, maybe I'll just have a look at what the next first step is. um, um, that's me, or taxes. Yes. So for you guys, April 15th for the US, my US plannerettes, you got to have it done by April 15th. 1 month left. Right now, I'm working on learning Adobe Express. I can do some digital scrapbooking tutorials. Fantastic. Ronnie Cat, I'm almost done with taxes though, trying to get my house back in order. Our school district has been very intense, and I had to really step back and reset my priorities. Been digital scrapbooking for almost 20 years. Oh, there you go. You guys are in the same neck of the woods. Yeah, so again, Stephanie, small step, and make sure while we have big projects like this, okay, it is important that one of the top priorities that you do have is for yourself. Don't have your top priorities just for work stuff. You need to have something for yourself, because even that I have found, because when I know and I don't do it, then I'm either cranky, I'm anxious, I'm overwhelmed, I get really triggered by something sad. But when I find that I'm putting time for me, then the day is a lot more manageable. I'm not saying it's stress free, and I'm not saying it's overwhelm free or anxiety free, but I'm able to manage it a lot better, because my brain, right, cognitively is saying, hey, we've got this because we've had the break. We've re-energized, we've reset, we're ready to focus. So really important that anytime you are have or anytime you have a big project, inject in your top priority one, at least one thing that is for yourself. And it doesn't have to be big. It could be just 10 deep breaths, walk outside, drink some water, do something creative, scrapbooking, digital scrapbooking, or paper scrapbooking. All right, whatever it is. So, really important. I can relate, education is suffering all over us. That's right. Okay. So, and remember how I mentioned a mindset is shift is so important. Your brain resists big, vague tasks. Just goes, it's just like, nah, I don't want to manage that. I don't know what you want. What do you want? You just said to you want to find a job. Where? What job? When? Right? So really important when you break things down, your brain sees progress, not pressure. Because you go, it'll go. Is that all? Is that all I have to do? Is list my skill? Okay, I can do that. Okay, tick. What? Oh, you want me to update our resume? Oh, yeah, I can do that. But if I just went, find us a job, which is when I have, when I first made the decisions like, I don't know how. I don't know if I can do it, right? And so when I made that big decision prior to making, I was like a mess. Crying, couldn't sleep, but breaking it down. So the brain, when it sees small, actionable, manageable, specific tasks, right? All it sees is progress, not pressure. Isn't that great? So make sure, um, uh, yes, the school system, really crazy. Yes, prioritize self care is so important. Too wild right now. Got to take care of myself in the house first. And because if we're not taking care of ourselves, we are going to break emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, and then where will we be? We will be no good to ourselves, and we will be no good to the people we are caring for, or the roles that we have, taken on. And so, and then it'll put us back. So we may think taking a break will slow us down or set us back. No, it propels us. For those of you who love my analogies, it's the, what's that called? Slingshot. When you pull the rubber back, you're not stepping back, you're allowing momentum so then you can go further. So that is what a self-care break is for you. Prioritize self-care. Yes, 2 years from retirement. I'm looking for jobs closer to where I live. Yes, Amy, you travel a lot. I know that from last time when we did our, what was that, 2 years ago? Our live everyday April. Yes, make sure we are looking after ourselves. Excellent. Oh, you guys, see, it's midnight wherever you are, 1 a.m., 10 a.m. It's now 4 o'clock here where I am. When did I start? 3 o'clock. Right on an hour. I love it. And for those who may be tuning in later on the replay on LinkedIn, say hello over there so at least I know people are seeing it, or LinkedIn is showing my live stream to over there. Okay, so try this out. Break your big task into small actionable tasks. If you need a planner printable, I've got my Get Things Done planner printable download in the link below. Let me know how it goes for you. All right. And so what I will do is I will see you, what's tomorrow? Day 14. So I'm still going. Whether I've gone live or uploaded a video or podcast on my channel, I have been up to date. 14 days out of my 13 days out of my mindful messy March, and I haven't missed a day. And even if I do, I'll probably just show up and go, hi, can't stay long, but I'll make sure I show up for you, but more so for me. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I will see you again next time. Bye, Plannerets. Bye bye.